One bright afternoon, Rohan, a curious young boy, excitedly visited a traveling circus with his father. As they entered the circus grounds, he was amazed by the colorful performers, acrobats, and wild animals. There were lions roaring in their cages, monkeys doing tricks, and clowns making the audience laugh. As they walked around, Rohan's attention was drawn to a massive elephant, standing quietly outside a large tent. Despite its incredible size and power, the elephant was tied with a thin rope to a small wooden stake in the ground. Unlike other animals, it didn't struggle, didn't try to run away. It just stood there, calm and unmoving. Rohan's mind filled with questions. Why wasn't the elephant escaping? It was strong enough to pull down trees. Yet it stood obediently, as if it had no choice. Unable to contain his curiosity, Rohan approached the elephant's trainer, a friendly old man who was feeding the giant creature. "Sir," Rohan asked, "this elephant is so big and strong, why doesn't it just break the rope and run away?" The trainer smiled and patted the elephant gently. "Ah, my boy," he said, "this elephant doesn't escape because it believes it cannot." Rohan was confused. "What do you mean?" The trainer continued. "When this elephant was a baby, we tied him with the same kind of rope. Back then he was small and weak. He tried and tried to break free, but the rope was too strong for him. No matter how hard he pulled, he failed. After many attempts, he finally gave up. He stopped trying." "And now?" Rohan asked, still puzzled. "Now he is fully grown and incredibly strong," the trainer explained, "but he still believes that the rope is stronger than him, so he never tries to break free." Rohan's eyes widened in shock. The elephant wasn't actually trapped. The only thing stopping him was his belief that he couldn't escape. As Rohan walked away, he kept looking back at the elephant. It was such a mighty creature, yet it was controlled by nothing but a weak rope and an old memory of failure. For a moment, Rohan imagined what it must have been like when the elephant was young. How many times had it tried to escape before finally giving up? How many days had it struggled before accepting defeat? Now, it no longer even thought about breaking free. It had the strength, but it didn't believe in itself anymore. Rohan couldn't stop thinking, what if the elephant tried just once? What if it realized its true power? That night, as Rohan lay in bed, he couldn't stop thinking about the elephant's invisible chains. Then a thought struck him. Was he also like the elephant? He remembered times when he had failed at something and given up. The time he forgot his lines. During a class presentation and was afraid to speak in public again. The time he lost a race in school and decided he was just not good at sports. The time he scored badly in math and believed he would never understand it. Just like the elephant, he had stopped trying because he believed he couldn't succeed. But what if that belief was wrong? The next morning, Rohan woke up with a new determination. He decided to test his limits, to see if his fears were real or just like the elephant's invisible chains. In class, when the teacher asked a question, he raised his hand, even though he was nervous. Instead of avoiding math, he practiced every day, telling himself he could improve. When his friends invited him to play soccer, he said yes. Even though he was afraid of losing, at first it was hard, the fear was still there. But something strange happened. Nothing bad happened when he tried. He realized that his fears had been lying to him all along. The more Rohan challenged his fears, the weaker they became. He gave a short speech in front of his class and felt more confident. He practiced math every day, and slowly he started getting better. He played soccer and had fun, even when he lost. He realized something important. Failure wasn't the end, it was just a lesson. Courage wasn't about having no fear, it was about facing it anyway. Just like the elephant, he had believed in a lie for too long. His real enemy had never been his abilities, it had been his own thoughts. One day, Rohan saw a poster in his school hallway. It said, "The only thing stopping you is the belief that you can't." At that moment, he smiled. He was no longer the elephant tied to an invisible chain. From that day forward, whenever he faced a challenge, he asked himself, "Is this really impossible? Or is it just my fear telling me so?" The elephant never realized its power, but Rohan did. And that was the day he became truly free.